Alright guys, after a wait of only about 8 years, just a little under a decade, we finally have from Tailworlds Bannerlords 2. They managed to get this thing to us a day early and give it to us for 10% off. Thank you, Tailworlds. We are really glad we can move on from Warband, which was a fantastic game, but man, it was dated. So, if you don't know anything about this game, you get to choose a kingdom that you're going to start from. Same kingdom as before. We've got Calradia here again. You've got 6 different factions to choose from with different bonuses. Don't worry, you get to create a character, but you can always switch your allegiances later. And the characters look a hell of a lot better than they did in Warband. Although the faces of the NPCs do still appear fairly wooden, but it's a massive improvement over the guy we just saw get shot in the face with a crossbow. So the game's going to slap you into the game without a whole lot of training. And there is a training ground you can come back to and practice in. It's got directional combat, which for its time was pretty revolutionary, but if you've played anything like Mordhau, this is going to be fairly familiar to you. Well, after giving you a wooden sword and a little bit of help, it's going to say, hey, here's a giant campaign map. There's an opening quest, but really it throws you into the middle of Calradia and says, hey, do what you want to do. Be a thief, be a robber, be a mercenary, eventually maybe be a lord, maybe even start your own kingdom. But like games of this sort, you're going to start out trying to hunt down parties that are wimpier than you. You're going to be save scumming a lot, and you're going to be chasing down small groups of bandits, trying to kill them, steal their loot, which you can then sell for an honest profit. Hey, weird-faced dude, we're going to slay you. Then we're going to take all your loot, and then we're going to sell it. Doesn't that make us the looters? No, we're looting the looters. That makes us the good guys. Does it? Well, here we are in the standard combat in Bannerlords 2. You can see the graphics engine massively improved. The nature, foliage, everything looks good, lighting much better, but it's immediately familiar to anyone that's played Warband or Mountain Blade. It's the exact same game with a bit of polish added to it, and there's really nothing wrong with that. What we all loved about Warband was the mechanics and the sandbox gameplay and the combat. And that's what you're going to get more of in Bannerlords 2. So you're going to head yourself over to the castle or one of the cities from one of the empires. Stop by the tavern. You can pick yourself up an NPC. Those guys are handy, just like in Warband. But you're going to want to go and head over to the Lord and say, hey, dude, I'll fight for you if you pay me money. And you're on your way to becoming a lord for one of the factions in Calradia. I'm sure I'm pronouncing it wrong. Someone will let me know in the comments. Now, once you've pledged your allegiance to a faction, you can take a look at the diplomacy screen. You're going to see which factions are fighting with whom, and who can you get paid to stab in the face with a sword. Well, it looks like we're going to go and fight the British dudes. Well, we're going to need better troops. Every faction in this game has a different troop tree. You start as a peasant, and you can upgrade these guys into killer cataphract dudes. Also, those NPCs you hired, you can kit them out with any gear you like. Recommend getting them early so you can really level them easy. And here we are leveling up some of our troops. This guy started out as a peasant, now he's like, hey, I'm Mr. Armored Bow Dude. Just be careful you don't over-upgrade or you're going to run out of money for your warband really quickly. Well, guys, I've got to say, this feels like a pretty solid release, and for early access, it feels like a pretty complete single-player campaign. Hit that like button if you found this useful. Is it worth the $40? Absolutely, if you're a really big fan of Mountain Blade. If you own one of the other games, you also can get another 10% off in the Steam store. I'm going to catch you guys later. I got a bunch of looters to stab in the face. Mr. G out.